Boy's Big Bright Blue Baseball Bat. You know that one?
No.
No? All right.
I wasn't really a hardcore theater kid like that.
It's to loosen the ligature. Anyway, welcome to Strategy and Solidarity Pod, the podcast, an act of revolutionary defiance and a celebration of the things that bring us comfort, solace, and joy. I am Carlos Kareem Wyndham.
And I'm Teresa Logan.
And how are you doing, my friend?
Doing okay.
Before even that, so a bit of how the sausage is made. So if you've been listening to the podcast, you heard that I did not reference being here on a cold planet alone together. Why didn't I do that, Teresa?
You didn't say that, but thank you. It was so much better without it.
It wasn't. But why am I not doing that anymore?
Because I asked you not to project your depression onto the rest of us.
It is not depression.
Because world's not cold. It's global warming, climate change. It's summer in half the world right now. My heat is turned on. I got children follow me around. Like, it's not, it just doesn't resonate for me as a cold, cold world. I feel like nuclear winter. I don't feel like we're living in nuclear winter to be like the cold, cold world.
All right.
But thank you for bringing it back in.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, I figure like we've got to be able to do the evolution of the podcast, and we are so young into it that hey, why not? Because nobody is going to, well, not nobody, obviously, our longtime listeners, and we've gotten many, many more. And thank you for being here listening to the words coming from our face holes. And that as new listeners come on, if my outlook and or what I felt like our cute quips are depressing, then there's not a good reason for that. That doesn't work for all parties involved. That's not consent. So yeah, that's where that went. And with that, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing okay. Just trying to get through the end of this year. Pass go, do not collect $200. I think that's what this year is looking like, but maybe.
What's it going to take for you to get to the end?
Jackpot out there for me.
Do you think?
Just the children got to get through the last week of school this week. There's, I don't know, a leaky toilet and a leaky sink that I need to fix at some point. Maybe a holiday housewarming party, several family gatherings. Mostly just get through the end of this work week, and then I'll feel good. How about you? How are you doing? How's your nervous system holding up this week?
Oh, wow. I didn't even ask you about your nervous system yet. How is my nervous system? Pardon me. That was yuck. My nervous system is pretty good. I'm going to say pretty good. I have been relatively able to stay grounded in the things which are mine to do. I have been drowning in the enveloping darkness of the forthcoming solstice. That's been a lot. First time that the seasons have impacted me this way in maybe 2 years, 3 years, maybe.
Do you still have your light? You still got your sunshine light?
Oh, yes. Wait. Do I? No, I don't. No, it died. I do not.
That might be the problem.
I do not. I have vitamin D's, and I am sat by the window throughout the days, and I've been getting my walks in. I got out of the house today, so I'm a little bit impressed about that, given the rain. But
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, overall, pretty good.
You led a very lovely Monday meditation moment on the app yesterday. Just kind of grounding, reflecting, inviting people to think about boundaries.
Thank you. Yeah,
Which my
been
assumption
having
is that
to.
you have to kind of be there yourself in order to offer that to other people, but that may or may not be true.
No, that is very true, and is the thing about Monday moments is, and I'm very happy to be transparent about it, is that the messages that it's not from a place of self-righteousness in any aspect, right? And so the messages that I'm sharing are messages that I need reaffirmed for myself. Um, it's a time to connect with those ideas as well, and to remind myself that my when I get and experience discomfort around my boundaries at this point, it's usually one of three things. One of a couple things. One is that I did not either share, nor am I demonstrating what those are in ways that are respectful to myself and the other party. Two is that I lowered my boundaries and or did not hold my boundaries, more importantly, right? Because lowering your boundaries, that's quite intentional.
Oh, it's a choice.
Yeah. Just like kind of letting it slip out of habitual wanting to be nice, wanting to be not making mistakes.
I'm sure this is true. That's just not what I think of when I think of you. Like,
yeah,
very specific situations. Niceness is not usually
no, wanting to be kind. Priority. No, kind is the main priority, but it sometimes when kindness is offering the reflection that is most yucky, that's when I feel like, oh, and have to kind of like check in with my own codependencies and all of those things. But as I remind myself and share and kind of remind the folks that we're in community with as best as I can, it certainly does and has helped me to remember that holding those boundaries is an act of self-love and not really about not doing for other people or anything like that. Yeah. So that's been good. How you dealing with the solstice forthcoming as it's getting darker and darker?
I mean,
earlier and earlier. It got dark at like 1 p.m. yesterday.
No, it didn't. It's just the rain clouds. I mean, it's annoying that the days are so short. I'm ready for the light to come back. The darkness hasn't been bothering me as much as the rain. And I'm from here, and it doesn't usually bother me. But something about the rain has been more like heavier and unrelenting than normal. Like usually it's a nice Portland drizzle, and it's just kind of drizzling for all of the whole winter. I'm used to that. But there's been like heavier, more like embodied rain.
Embodied, thick rain, thick with two C's.
The fact that it turned my whole driveway into a mud puddle, I had to spend a bunch of money and labor of my own back shoveling gravel into. That might be part of it. But even besides, I just feel like the rain, I've been driving a lot more because we live farther away from everything now. It's just the rain has been getting to me in ways that it doesn't usually, being from here.
Yeah. I don't usually have one way or the other that big of a relationship with the rain, but I will say that the raindrops are definitely thick with two C's this year. I don't know what kind of collard greens she been eating, what kind of mac and cheese been in the oven, but man, that rain
about hair texture or bra size. What did you say?
I was thick with two C's. Thick with two C's is the rain.
Oh, the letter with two C's. I was
thick. I was like... Yeah. The raindrops themselves. Bra size. My goodness. Okay. Also, maybe if you're eating the same things as we know. But no, it really has been unrelenting,
Yeah.
absolutely unrelenting. Um, but
I'm ready for the return of the light. Do you have like a solstice tradition, or what does the solstice mean to you?
I have a couple traditions. I like to reflect back on spiritual advices that I've collected over the last going on 30 years.
Mm.
I like to spend time um, in my ocha room and to clean the orisha and have them ready for a new year. Oh, I did my
Like on the
mopping.
actual solstice?
Not on the solstice, but
Oh, okay.
before and around, before and
Mm-hmm.
around. I like to be my the anniversary of of getting made, my Ocha birthday is uh around it's in the first month of the year by the Gregorian, and so New Year's and the holidays and everything, season of lights are all kind of a big pile.
Mm-hmm.
And I have quite a few orishas, so that I care for. So like going through and cleaning each one takes its own time. So getting a jump start on it.
Okay.
Yeah, reflecting on the lessons learned in the year, behind things to hold on to in the year ahead. How about you?
I think as I, started exploring, I guess, are more traditional spiritual practices that are animist or earth centered. I started first trying to make more of an effort to mark the equinoxes and the solstice, but then it all felt a little bit forced. Like, it wasn't coming naturally. So I stepped back from that a little bit. I'm in some communities that do like solstice rituals and that sort of thing. Um, I think we're gonna do a holiday housewarming on the solstice and invite folks over and just kind of think about a way to make
Oh, cute.
this moment meaningful. I think especially in this year with how challenging this year and the past 5 years, past 10 years, like how especially this year how challenging things have been. I think there's something very symbolically important about marking that return of the light, right? Like it's always darkest before the dawn, and just remembering that there is hope. And I think there's a lot of hope in ways that we can reconnect with our human connection to the earth as part of the earth, right? Like we're
Mm.
basically sentient mud walking around. There is no body unless you ate some things that at some point came out of the ground, however many processing and packaging, whatever they may have gone through. At some point, some stuff came out of the ground, and whatever it got turned into, it went into you, and you're here, right? So, so in that way of recognizing that we're all part of this giant living system, um, I think is meaningful. I don't 100% know exactly what I want to do for that, but I also told the kids they could have friends come over and they could stay up all night to mark the
God,
longest night, and then we could do a little
Jesus,
breakfast thing to mark the start of the light returning.
a breakfast thing. Like when is that going to be? The
I
2 in the
mean, I think the
afternoon.
sun rises like 7:30 that day or so, 7:30,
They're
seven
not going to be
forty-five.
up at 7 in the
If they
morning
stay up
if you
all
let them
night,
stay up all
stay up all
night.
night
Oh,
till
let them
7:30,
stay
eat
up straight
breakfast.
through. Oh, wow.
Yes, then they can go to
Okay.
sleep. I don't
Mm.
know. It's an idea. If it happens, it'll be an experiment. I'll let you know how it goes.
I'll look forward to hearing about it.
But that sounds fun, especially if my kids want to bring their friends over. My high schoolers' friends like to ask me to like read their tarot cards and things, which I don't even really do, but I do it for them. Figure if teenagers want to ask me for advice, I should deliver.
Right? Oh, I love it. I love it. Um, well, the holidays are coming. Whatever holidays one happens to engage with or not, depending on how you engage.
If any, I'm not sure. Can you opt out of New Year's? I mean, I'm sure you could if you're like, I don't recognize the Gregorian calendar.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, the Gregorian calendar in terms of New Year's, I typically am more attached to the Persian calendar, which
Interesting.
has the New Year happening in March,
That makes
in
sense.
the spring, which is very much,
The
it
newness doesn't start when everything's dead. It starts when things are reborn. That makes
sure
sense.
does.
How did you find an attachment to the Persian calendar?
My best friend from one of my best friends from college, and several members of the community, Swana community that I know here are members of the community, and so the fire ritual, which is jumping over the fire, burning off the last year in preparation for the next year, um, having a large dinner that night, that kind of thing. I've done it a few times now. Don't know if I'm going to do the ritual, but certainly that is more toward what for me makes sense as the new year, right? Like this year is certainly the holidays. I mean, this time of year, um, everything is piled up, and there's not much I can do around that. But recognizing the actual New Year is a thing I've been trying to do.
I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's not to say I'm going to appropriate it and start doing it myself with no connection to the community from which it came. But I appreciate learning about that tradition.
You should probably just read a book and do it. You should just do it, and you should call it the Logan method. Is what you should do, and
make a bunch of money.
get so rich.
Yeah, it's not what I'm going to
happens.
do.
Okay,
but I'm sure someone will. If you're
I'm
listening to
sure.
this podcast, please don't.
Don't do it because you
The
heard
karma
it
won't be
here.
good.
In fact, I forget I said anything about it at all. That's not. You don't want to. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Yeah. So that's pretty much what has been going on. How nervous systems have been, and grounding, and all the good things.
I have a question for you.
I'll bet I have tons of answers.
What is your current relationship to social media? How are you engaging in social media, and what satisfaction or lack thereof are you finding there? This was not on the script. I just pulled this out, so that's why it might take a minute to actually think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I would even widen that a bit, right? Because one of the things I've been noticing is my relationship to media generally, right? I find that I don't have the patience for the artifice of corporate programming much anymore. I don't even remember the last time I looked at a network television show. I think Sophia and I were looking at Abbott Elementary like 2 years ago, Christmas.
Sounds right.
I have people who I've been following, with whom I have a very loose association, who are on the show now, and I have not seen it. I have no clue. I'm sure they're great. It's not
Who's
for
on
me.
The show now?
Marcela Arguello, she's on the show now. I don't know if she's reoccurring. So even that, right? Like that's to the other answer. That's really my relationship with social media as well. I only know that because of her Instagram account. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know it because I know what's going on the show or anything else about it. And then in terms of actual social media, I have been. I mean, I'll still have a peek and scroll through, kind of like folks' events and photos, but that's kind of pretty much where it's at. A bit more in TikTok. When I'm able to remember that will alleviate having to just scroll through YouTube and hope something interesting happens.
What are the things you find most satisfying or engaging or entertaining that feel like a reasonable use of your time?
In the world?
in the social media on the TikToks or
Yeah, no,
whatever?
I know. Uh, honestly, TikToks. I just of late have started to be a bit more clear in what I am doing there. So there are folks who I have relationships with there who are like definitely possibility models. Um I recognized that living into my own truth out loud uh means that I'm also then serving as a possibility model, and hearing, the feedback from folks who um for whom my posts make a difference. Um, yeah, right now there is a thing about that particular model of folks being able to speak directly. Um, not getting stuck in X's number of characters, which I believe is about 1,000 now. I don't know. Used to be you could only do 250 characters, and now you thanks to somebody, you can just write a whole scree. But yeah, no, I mean, people are doing some very, very inspirational work, and I think, well, in my algorithm anyway, healing work um, around TikTok. There's a lot of self introspection, a lot of using humor to do it.
Healing work
And
around TikTok? What do you mean?
on TikTok,
I'm not on TikTok. What does that mean?
So there's a community of folks who follow a creator I know who is a Southern Bible scholar, and she knows all of the stories of the Bible very, very well. And she knows how, as somebody who is recovering, how insane many of them sound, right? And so she will just tell the stories,
the Bible stories,
the Bible, but she'll tell them with all of the like, okay, so but what you got to understand is, and sort of like break down the context of the Hamitic myth. Yeah. So, for instance, the idea of the Hamitic myth being the idea that all Black folks are doomed and cursed because of the child Ham and their relationship with Noah, by laughing at finding their father drunk in a pile of poop instead of whatever. But then it's like, okay, but then how are the other two brothers of Noah not African? I don't understand what that means. But that, that was the race's justification of that story.
He got real sunburnt when he got kicked off the boat. Like
just that one. I think all the other ones got a recessive gene is what happened. It took all their melanin from them and turned them into
vile colonizers.
Vile colonizers who would then lead the NRA.
Okay.
But yeah, stuff like that. And then I've also started adding clips from Monday Moment, and I often am providing and gaining new informations that I find out about there first, and then it's like, okay, wait, what? That's for real? And then find out, and like, oh wow, this world is a thing we are not all the way prepared to deal with yet, and the one we're on. So there's a lot of stuff I've been learning.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a learning source.
It has and been that for me in the past, and I've never been on TikTok. I think it might be a neurodivergent thing, where it's just like too much. I can't take a lot of the pictures and the videos. Like I can only watch the videos of the sounds off if they have captions. But partly because I was like, I spent a lot of my time on social media while I was trying to put my kids to sleep, like nursing babies to sleep.
Yeah.
So I never watched the volume. But I think it's just too much like sensory overload, the sound and the video and the picture. Like it's just too much coming at me. especially because there's such a high quantity of things to scroll through. So the
Right.
text based ones actually work a lot better for me. That's why I think that's part of the reason I really have liked Threads recently, is just because it's text based. Probably, I guess, maybe what Twitter used to be. I was never there either. Um, and I found social media very useful for lots of things over the years, staying in touch with friends and seeing all their kids grow up, most of whom are close to grown now, if not grown. Some of my friends are grandparents now, seeing pictures of grandbabies now. Yeah, it's crazy. You're an old parent. Most of my friends were young parents, like had kids right
Excuse
before I
me.
did.
Excuse me.
You're an old
I am a
parent,
young,
dude. How old were
vibrant
you?
parent.
How old were
I
you when your
was
daughter was born?
when young,
No, you weren't.
very
No. Our kids are
38
the
years
same
old.
age, and you're 10 years older than me.
I was 38 years old.
You're an old dad. I was 27 when I had my first child, and that was like not quite 10 years, but most of my friends from high school had kids at like 19 or 20. Me and my sister's best friends all had like 3 kids by the time we had one. And then I was working
Wow.
in DC in that like professional DC international development world, and all my friends there were having babies at like 36, 37. And so I was in a very awkward in between age. But anyway, so that's a lot of what I appreciate about social media in the early days, where it really was just like keep up with your friends that you don't see in person. It helped me learn a lot about neurodivergence. I think a lot of people who don't understand it have been like, oh, the TikTok influencers have convinced people they have ADHD when they don't, blah, 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 blah. And has that happened to someone? Probably, maybe, but I think it helped a lot of people like better understand their own neurodiversity and the way that their brain worked, and move from a place of like, what's wrong with me? Why do I always fuck up? To a place of like, oh shit, that's just how my brain works. And that's how all these other people brain works. And then can, trade stories and survival skills and accommodations and different things that help you like better navigate your life. So for me,
Yeah.
that's been an incredibly positive part of social media, though I was skeptical of it at first as well. When I started seeing all these highly relatable posts, I was like, wait a minute, that's not normal. That's ADHD. Wait, that's autistic. That's on the spectrum. Um, so I think it's been helpful in so many ways. And at the same time, it's kind of devolved into like, I think Facebook and Instagram just feel like everybody's standing around handing out their flyers, trying to hand their flyers to each other.
Yeah.
Like we're all just standing outside the mall, just trying to hand our flyers to different events and different services, and trying to hawk our goods on the sidewalk is what it feels like a lot of the time. And I don't know, I just feel like it used to feel like there was more connection. I found it really useful in times of national crisis and tragedy to just be able to connect with other people in that rapid way, and feel not alone and see what other people are saying, share my critique where it's been useful. And again, now it feels like it's devolved so much into that whole dead internet theory, where now I'm like, I wonder, is this even a real person or is that a bot? That definitely was written by AI. I like this person. I think they did some editing of this AI output, or maybe AI edited their text, but like I can't read it anymore. Like so much of it is just so AI voice, AI format, AI polish, and it just like you can see it just like within 2 paragraphs or something. Also, the things got much longer. Like, where's your bullet points? Why are you? I much prefer human interaction. It's got to the point where I'm like, wonder if half the people I'm talking to are even human or are bots. And if you didn't even put the like human creation into delivering this content on the internet, is it actually of interest or use to me? And usually most of the time it's not, because I don't trust that you or your AI did your research thoroughly. There's some exceptions.
Right.
I've seen a couple people use it to take really complex information and like put it in a thing that's understandable, and you can see that there's still like human expertise underneath it, but it's a lot of just slop being pumped out. And so it's made it hard to keep engaging, and feel like even the places where I've been getting, had posts get lots of follows and likes and had a lot more exposure than I have at any previous time in life, there's just not many people who are interested in like actual dialogue that goes beyond the surface, like or I don't like this comment. It's like arguing. And
Yeah.
I'm ready to move beyond that. There's a time and place where verbal sparring or rhetorical sparring is useful and helpful in developing our thinking and developing our critique. but it feels like that is very sparse,
Well,
and
it's
not the
useful if we're
most
trying to
common.
get to, yeah, when we're trying to get to a critique, it's very useful. Or trying to get to some other truth, but it's just people aren't doing that, right? Like the algorithms really do, and in particular the ones from the most nefarious players, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is about rage baiting you,
Yes.
and it is about getting folks to be upset or not upset or say they're upset or what have you about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean it's interesting because it does get to a place of like, well, where are the critical thinkers and or creators, and where are they sharing, right? If the electronic town square has turned into a cesspool, then how are folks interacting with
Substack,
each other?
Reddit. Is that where these things happen?
I mean, if you're reading, yeah, certainly. And even there, right, people still get into arguments about shit. There are nice Reddits, but overall the internet has just really devolved into not an entirely friendly place.
Mm.
It's not super friendly. So for me, even in looking at YouTubes and what have you, it's like, can I find creators who are critical and or doing some level of in-depth analysis of the things that they're doing, so that it's not just mind-numbing. And I think that for me is the exploration, right now. But yeah, it's a strange time in media shift for sure.
Even then, it's like I think there's just only so much more information and content I can absorb about any topic. Not, you know.
There's more. I could get more in there. I can
Sure,
get more in
there's
there.
more. There's more rabbit holes and tunnels to go down, but for what? What is it helping us get better at?
Well, it depends. You don't know yet. Um,
Well, that for me is a question around strategy and solidarity. Like, is this a good use of my time? Is the return on
yeah.
investment for the time I'm putting in scrolling or having conversations with people? Like, there's things that maybe it's good um, disengagement from reality briefly. It's a good mental exercise when I'm, using my like LSAT skills to critique an argument and find where the errors are. And it's useful when I can point out something that perhaps someone didn't consider and they're open to that. I put in a lot of qualifiers these days. Like, this is not an accusation against you. It's just a question for reflection.
J'accuse.
Because folks are there's times I've really tried to like validate what someone said and they read it as an attack or an accusation or an invalidation because the
Mm.
tone isn't there. And people are so used to people attacking us on the internet that the idea that someone would respond to validate is almost unusual in some circumstances. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I think there's ways where it's been a tool of strategy and solidarity, and then there's ways that tool has just been consumed and weaponized as a location for capitalist exploitation, as every other location.
Well, let's do this. Why don't we take a little break and reflect and ponder on the tools and the locations, and then we can come back and get a little bit more.
Sounds good.
All righty. Strategy and Solidarity the podcast. Wow, it's been so good. It's on YouTube. You can look at it, you can watch us and whatever. But also, guess what? Now, your favorite audio catcher, go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it. Where is it? It's Apple, it's Spotify, it's everywhere. It's Strategy and Solidarity the podcast with Carlos Kareem Wyndham and Teresa Logan. Every Thursday, first episode dropped today. YouTube, you're lucky. You're already up to number 3. Okay, here we go. Bye.
Oh.
All right. Well, welcome back. So one of the things that you were just talking about that around building strategy and solidarity reminded me of the thing that I had been thinking about in terms of how to accomplish such a thing, right? And one of those that has that seen, and it speaks to what you're talking about in terms of trying to see people, meet people where they are, to be able to build a relationship and to connect meaningfully, right? Is this idea that time feels so truncated, so short, that it feels like we have lost in the ability that many people kind of talk about around losing the ability to pay attention, and our attention deficits, to understand that trust is not built on a timeline or timetable, right? Like that is actually something that has to be built in relationship and over time and with experience. And until there is enough trust built to at least be able to engage shared strategy, I I am still trying to figure out if there is a way to be able to get to solidarity um under that. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
What do you mean? I don't.
Well,
What do you mean get to solidarity? Like I see lots of people showing up to like support their neighbors from getting kidnapped by ICE. I mean, I see acts of solidarity all around all the time, but what do you mean when you say actually get to solidarity?
right. Well, that solidarity, it becomes not a verb, but a pretty clear noun, right? Like that it is a thing that we can look at, that we can touch, that we can recognize, that we can define, because we've got that much experience with it at this point. Um, I don't think that that's where we are now. I think that at least in my experience, people are re-engaging, and at the most community level, absolutely, people are showing up in those ways, and that the isolation that has been created in part by the misuse of social media, right? And I don't misuse. I don't know. I don't mean to be the judge of anything,
Manipulation.
of the manipulation of social media, right? For me, it has been a place to um, connect with people who have common interests, and then bring those common interests out of the computer and into the world, right? Whether that's been through running, whether that's been through comedy, whether that's been through what we do, through music, whatever it is, it's about how are we using this time to remind each other of the important lessons of life, and then when we can find each other in real life and see each other and spend time with one another, right? That has become so much more diffuse as more and more people, and of course this speaks to my own contradiction, move into the spaces and places of seeing themselves as the product, seeing themselves as the entertainment, seeing themselves as the main character, right? And if everybody is the main character, then who the hell is going to anybody's anything? Like, what is anything then? So that's what I'm talking about in terms of like the time investment that is necessary, right? And you've moved around the country. I've moved around the country quite a lot, right? And each time I go someplace, there's this period of arrival that can last anywhere from like 3 months to 6, that just feels like, oh my God, what have I done? I don't know anybody. This is horrible. I'm disconnected. I'm floating. What is this? Right. And it is for me, the regularity of like going to the coffee shop, going to the club, going to the whatever that that set the stages for the places that I am then able to, going to the actions that I am then able to, right, through consistency, develop those relationships, right? Hey, what do you do? Hey, you're here all the time. I see you every day. What were you talking to that person about? That was really interesting. You know what I mean? That thing that gets built to the place of having the moments as now, where if I step out the door, if I'm walking down the street, I'm going to have interactions with members of community, right? Who recognize me through whatever part of the 15 years that I've been here, um and have some, because of having done so many presentations, right, working with so many clients, working with so many at so many shows, that is where the trust has been built, because of the consistency that I have shown up with, right? But I also know, and I'm an introvert, I don't like to go out necessarily, but I also know that if I don't do it, what that kind of does to my noodle, what that does to my mind if I'm not.
What is there a name for an introvert who really likes to be on stage?
Extroverted introverts, like it's part of it is my autism for sure. Like I know the rules on stage, so I can be within them and know how to interact and not do something like go and start painting on somebody else's painting in a live presentation, which is a thing that I have done in the past because I did not know what was going on.
Project.
I thought it was a group project. It was wet still, but it wasn't. Yeah. So I mean, it for me, for me, being a part of a running group, being a part of a community of performers, being a part of a community of organizers, activists, that for me is where I find connectivity, right? And so keeping that digital, there's a point at which that has to transfer. And I think that many, many, many of us have gotten stuck in the digital aspect of it, where Joe Rogan says that Grok is going to give birth to Jesus. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I think it's like, excuse me. I think it's like any human tool, right? It's as effective as the goal you put it towards and the amount of skill with which you wield it, right? And so thinking about social media, is it just a passive habit you've developed with no thought or intention that is sucking up your time and energy and preventing you from engaging in real strategy and solidarity out in the real world? Or is it a tool used with intention towards a specific goal for specific purposes, right? And I'm sure no one's like going to have some perfect ability to do to do these things, right? But to be intentional
At
of
the
like,
risk of sounding immodest, you see before you a person without a single flaw and who does it absolutely perfectly, unless of course you find that to be immodest, in which case I probably have one flaw.
yeah, we all have varying amounts of delusion that we carry around to survive and make it through the world. So I think just being for myself going to be thoughtful about the strategy and intention with which I'm on social media, right? Because it does start to feel like it's just everybody kind of screaming with a bullhorn, like you're scrolling through this unending feed because everyone wants to be heard and not that many people really want to listen, you know. Like people want to react and critique and like or resonate, but there's the depth of conversation is very shallow there. And again, we have places like this, people have their substacks, we have podcasts, we have other places where people are doing more in-depth analysis, but this place where in this culture of domination and control and celebrity and fame, of wanting to be the one everyone is listening to while demonstrating really poor listening ability, right? Where everybody wants to be heard, nobody wants to listen. So thinking about in this context, knowing the manipulation of the algorithm, knowing how much AI slop and bots are out there, like how is that changing my approach? And what's my strategy? What's my intention of being there? Sometimes just to get a pulse on like public discourse of what's happening in the world. Sometimes it's because my brain is bored and I think it's fun to go like rhetorically spar with people. Sometimes it's just like a place to vent my thoughts. Sometimes it's still a
Well,
place
what
to
do
keep up intentionally
talked
with my
about?
friends. You have to go find your
You talked
friends
about
in
Threads. What are you
Facebook
using
now.
Threads for? What
Those things I
like?
just named. That's mostly the only one I've been on lately.
How do you know how many characters you all have? How many words? Or is
I don't
it
know. I
you can
suspect
write a whole scree?
it's similar to what Twitter originally
What Twitter
was.
used to be?
Mm-hmm.
Something like 140, something around there.
It might be in the two
Okay,
range.
so like
You can usually get
okay,
about this
so like
much.
the
Before you
second
get
evolution
about
of
that
Twitter.
much text.
Okay, that's the second evolution of
Couple
Twitter.
paragraphs.
Okay. Oh, a couple paragraphs. Wow. All right.
Short.
Well, that's pretty good. That's healthy.
No, like social media paragraphs that are mostly just sentences, right?
Okay,
But you can get like this much. Like 3/4 of the phone
I love that
screen.
you're holding up. I love that you're holding up an
You get
inch.
about 3/4 of the. That's about an inch,
Hey,
2 inches.
hey, listeners, there's an
half,
inch of text that can be.
Some people are watching this video and they can see.
I said for listeners.
Yeah, I don't know. Just for myself, just noticing the places where it's like I don't know that it's not a habit that is working real well for me these days. Like I moved all my social media apps onto the last page of my phone screen, so I have to really go scroll to find them, which muscle memory will still do. But even that, just like, half a second it takes to go over to the fourth page instead of the first page is time where I can be like, do I really want to look at this right now? Or is this just a habit of bypassing and boredom where I could just sit here with my own thoughts instead, or go talk to my kids instead, or call a friend instead? Most of those I'm not going to do sitting on the toilet, though I will look at my phone. But then you'd be sitting on the toilet too long. I'm sure the amount.
Remember when there was magazines in the bathroom and books?
I would just read the back of the like cans of air freshener or whatever.
I was one of those, like, of course I'm a Luddite and I'm old school. So not a library, but I had like a rack of magazines of my subscriptions that I would like refresh out and,
Yeah.
Bathrooms.
Being thoughtful about my goals on social media. It's like, is my goal connecting with people I know in real life that I don't have physical proximity to? Is my goal kind of doing a survey of public discourse on a particular topic, or where the collective consciousness is at today? Is it trying to build solidarity with people with shared goals and frames? Is it seeking out people who are going to help me sharpen my analysis? Or who are going to help me find skills and tools, whether that's around neurodivergence or building community solidarity or political organizing or whatever it might be. I think being more thoughtful about not just scrolling to see what comes out of the grab bag today, but being thoughtful about why am I engaging in this and to what end? And is it actually serving my goals, or is it just bypassing and distracting? Because I think that's the other thing, is that, posting on social media starts to feel like taking action, and it's really not. Right. It's a way where it's like the way I talk about nonprofits exist to mitigate the worst impacts of capitalism and to siphon off all the would-be revolutionaries into immediate burnout. It's like social media exists to make you feel like you're taking action by yelling things at people on the internet when you're doing actually not accomplishing anything. Other than letting other people hear your perspective, and that makes you feel like you're heard and having some impact in the world. And sometimes it does. Sometimes you and I both have the privilege of having people tell us frequently that the things we say stick with them and do make a difference in their lives. So it's not to say there's no purpose there, but it's not as impactful as it feels like it is to just be yelling things at strangers on the internet.
Well, and to remind, for me, I am often reminding myself, as well as the people around me, right? It took me a long time to accept the depth of that occasional impact of which you speak, right? And accepting that and embracing and owning that certainly for me, has also made it feel like more of a responsibility in terms of both how I'm spending my time, right? So to your earlier question, and not to be flippant, what am I putting in my mind? What am I filling my consciousness with, right? And the amount of popular culture references that I am then offering, to which I am offering a sociological reading in order to help myself try to get some kind of grip on what the hell this is. Because the world is changing in ways that are very startling. Um, the discoveries scientifically about this planet upon which we stand that we've not known and or acknowledged that are
what?
now,
What are you
oh
talking about?
my, oh, there are things, and you can find them in Scientific American and what have you. So here's one that it is very upsetting in ways. There is a research that has been done that has found that beneath the ocean, which covers 70% of the planet, as we have been led to understand, there is another ocean that covers 3 times that, and is beneath a mantle in the crust of the earth of the ocean. Yes, of the ocean, but it's not just like pure water.
Groundwater.
No. It's a different thing. But it can be slurried up. And water can be extracted from it, but that there is water and an entire ocean's worth of it beneath the ocean, underneath the crust of the ocean floor.
Interesting.
That was information that I wish I never knew.
Why?
I did not. It's just too much. Like knowing that there's a sarcophagi, rather.
How is that a sarcophagi?
And the top of it, and the top of a pyramid, both of which have upon them all sorts of Egyptian hieroglyph, but aren't anywhere near Egypt. And that what they've been able to translate from the writing on it, it says star cousin, and has petroglyphs and hieroglyphs of what appear to be people from not the place that we're from, of planets. And
I thought you weren't into the ancient alien stuff.
I'm not.
Because it's mostly real racist.
It really is. And it wasn't until I looked at the actual hieroglyphs and then I was like, oh, geez, that is not. Okay, well, that's interesting. That's, all right.
Real, or were they AI produced? See, this is a problem now.
No, they were not AI produced. They were not. I know. No, I did the triple check on each one of them. Explain the water. Explain how it exists.
It's all trapped in a mineral rock called ringwoodite. So it's not an actual liquid ocean of water. And some of the water on top of Earth may have been sweated out of this rock and then risen through the mantle up to the ocean. But it's not a whole ocean under there. It's a bunch of rock underneath.
Well, it's not a rock. It's ringwoodite, which is not quite ringwoodite. Thank you.
It's bright
which
blue
is not quite
and only formed at high temperature
rock.
And pressure in the Earth's mantle.
And if you squish it, it's full of water.
I don't think
it's just, it's wild to me.
And it turns into water.
Well, I don't think I can squish
that a rock
it. I don't
can
think
be
I'm the
water
squisher.
Is crazy, but atoms do all kinds of wild things. So
I don't think I'm the squisher.
See,
but there's an ocean of
tell you things to make
but there's
you think
an
there's
ocean of rock water beneath the ocean. Like,
There's
that's
an ocean of
crazy
lava
shit.
underneath everything. How is it that much different?
Because when did you hear of this before?
I haven't heard of it. It's very fascinating. It didn't. I don't know why it
That's
is
why.
that concerning to you or
Well, it's not just that. It's like, what are you doing?
fascinating,
Quit
but
playing with it. Stop it. Get away from the ocean. Like, they're finding all sorts of life in there
yeah,
and fossils in there that they did not know, including life down there with the ring that is like, they're like, oh,
ringwoodite.
yes, that makes them go, oh, and then also from a giant iceberg that broke and fell, and then a bunch of life forms that we didn't know existed showed up.
Cool. I
Yeah, so
mean,
that's
the
something.
Pleiades are like 6 stars in the sky that you can see, but everyone all over the world calls them the Seven Sisters. And going back to like the Aboriginal Australians who have the oldest continuous culture in the world, supposedly. I'm repeating. I haven't studied these things in depth. I'm repeating what I've heard. Because and then they're like, no, there's 7 stars up there, and the astronomers did their computer models and went back in time, and there are in fact 2 stars that now look like 1 star, but back however many hundreds of thousands of years ago look like 2 stars. So like, there's been human civilization way before what we currently have as recorded history. There's been other interglacial periods where there were ice ages and non-ice ages. There wasn't just one. There's been like 5 or 6 of them.
Oh,
For us to
absolutely.
be here,
Yeah.
we had to survive all of them in some shape or form. So like,
And just
yeah,
finding
where
the
the ancient
numbers of
Egyptians
civilizations
engaged
beneath the
in,
civilizations is like,
yeah,
and like this, and maybe there were star people and maybe there weren't, and it's just like, you know what?
sure.
I don't
Maybe
need
that
that
was
in my
just their Star Trek.
consciousness right now.
Maybe they
I
had
don't need
Star
that in
Trek
my
too.
consciousness right now.
Maybe it was a novel. Maybe it was a play.
Could
Maybe there
could be.
really were
That
aliens
would
that
be a
helped them build the
lot
things,
of
but
building
I've seen a
for
lot of
a novel or a
evidence
play.
saying that there's pretty clear evidence that the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids and the
Oh
ancient
yeah, for
aliens said
sure.
there's nonsense.
Oh, for sure. No, this was not.
But
If it
sure, they had
weren't for what it
maybe it was
says and
Battlestar
where it is.
Galactica, and that's why they understood the star charts so correctly. Like, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Like,
If it weren't for what it
sure,
says and where it
anything's
is,
possible.
that would make sense. But it's the where it is on the planet and
Those
what it
people in
says
the
that's like,
silo don't remember any of their history. They only been in the silo for like 150 years or 250 years, however long they've been in the silo, and don't remember any history except for being in the silo. So here we are. We don't
of all of our hit, right? Of all of our stutteries. Wow. I'm not having a meltdown. Of all of our studies, history is most qualified.
The world is a miraculous place. You know, we should take care of it and each
and
other.
Horrifying. And I don't want big
and horrifying
sea animals coming up here and muching me up.
Seems unlikely. We're nowhere near the sea. Like, that's a weird fear to carry around.
It's going to be a long time. No. It's not an anxiety, but it certainly was one of those like, oh my goodness. Oh, that's happening. Okay, cool. I don't need that. But
it's not happening. Like, you thought aliens were coming through the black hole, and it's like, that's not really what was happening. But the way that they framed these things as clickbait to try to get you to engage. And then
the black hole spit light all over the world and
explained what it was.
And what it was vomiting alien juice.
No, that's not what was happening. It had
that's
swallowed
what I read.
Star. It swallowed a star. It was a burp from
alien juice.
A star.
What are stars made of if not alien? You said we're all stardust and dirt.
I think I said sentient, all right, but I'll take the stardust as well. Yeah, we got both of those, stardust and dirt.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. So
happy
for
solstice, stardust
happy solstice to the stardust and dirt. For a bit more of a ground to take on that, what are there possibility models who have been in service of your explorations around strategy and solidarity of late?
On social media?
Yeah. Like you said, on Threads has been where you've been connecting with folks. Like where on Threads? What does that look like? Are there things that have been hitting for you?
No, not really. That's kind of my irritation now. Like I enjoy the exercise. It's like, ooh, dopamine hits, especially because I had a couple things that went viral, or at least my version of viral. Um, it's just tracking like a lot of that dopamine. Ooh, they like me. Oh, people, but trying to engage people in conversation and either they have nothing to say or, there's just like, it's very shallow. It's like wide, but so shallow. It's not very satisfying. It's just kind of like junk food for the soul.
Mm.
Um, I think there are people there who do offer critique and analysis who I very much appreciate. Even some of those folks stuff seems to be a lot of AI generated stuff so they can keep their engagement numbers up. And
Like
I
what?
can't read it. I'm not going to name any names, but even just people
Okay.
who
All
offer a
right.
lot of critique, but then they've started to offer more things where I'm like, it reads like AI. If AI didn't write this, it edited it very
Oh, okay.
thoroughly.
Okay. Okay.
Or you
I
had
got
AI
you.
do your research and then you edit it a little bit, but like it's just too long and it's like I don't trust that the research was done well if AI wrote it.
Yeah,
Um
that's what you were saying at the beginning.
well, because they call it hallucinations, right? But it's not hallucinations. It's just lies. Like it's based on human intelligence, and humans lie all the time. So your AI is just lying to you, and you don't know if it's lying or not unless you go and do your due diligence and check the research. But I don't think most people are doing that because by the time you do that, you could have written it yourself in less time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think there's people doing really good work in the world. I think they're mostly doing that work and not spending a lot of time on social media, like the folks in North Carolina. Defend and Recruit is one organization I know out there. They send like one email a quarter. Don't be flooding my inbox with emails every day, but they're the ones who were part of organizing all that really impactful work that drove ICE out. Um, so I think those are the places where I'm more interested in engaging, but it's also hard because again, it spreads your attention so broadly that it gets really hard to start discerning between what is worth my time and attention and what is just distraction. What
Mm-hmm.
sounds good but isn't delivering any results. I get a bunch of people
Yeah.
yapping about Marxist philosophy on threads or whatever. And I'm like, it's just you sound very dusty in the year 2025. If I read Marx directly, yeah, absolutely. And also, we have an entire Soviet Union and Cuba and lots of other examples to look at, just like we have the US and all of capitalism to look at and be like, there's probably some alternatives to these two systems at this point that weren't written by some old European men.
Or
So
men.
well, and their wives wrote it, and Rosa Luxemburg. There's all kinds of women who are erased from that history as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And those who are most accredited, right? And their systems of violence. And it's just like, ugh. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good.
There's a
I
lot of
can't
hot
I can't
takes. Even those they get pretty shallow once you get past whatever the initial point was. Because then, so what? What are we going to do about it? How are we going to use
yeah.
this? And that's the part where I don't see enough stories of what are organizers and activists actually doing in the streets that are moving things. Um, and that's where that praxis piece of really ensuring that our theory is useful in real life and not just a fun academic exercise in our heads that's divorced from reality is what I try to get back to juggling and navigating that intersection.
Yeah. Well, I had been listening to this creator. Her name is what the hell is it? Melanie Hamlet. Um she is a writer. She is very deeply published and connected to a bunch of different things and Patreon and all the things. And I think it's one of the things that I that we talk about quite a bit, right? Like in terms of why I do the work to edit down and have clips available of both the podcast and the moments and other people's shows and what have you available to people. I discovered her through the clips, and over time, um, there's a very clear thesis that is more than just the hot takes and the reactions to the stories, because her main thesis is around entitlement and patriarchy and the violence that go hand in hand as a result.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do the same sort of thing that I'm talking about in terms of like talking about um, pop culture, popular. And when I say that, I'm talking about popular culture overall, not top 20, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, send me that because that talking about how entitlement is our biggest pandemic, doing the most damage to everyone right now is one of my favorite topics to rant about.
yeah, no, it is. I know it is. She is. She has the same sort of energy for men's that I do. So I don't know if it's going to be quite your temperature. Um, and you'll recognize why I relate, but there is a sociological grounding underneath it that is very, 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 very solid.
Do you think that I like cis men,
Oh
like in
no.
general?
Oh no, 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 no. No, I think that my ability to keep my range in this grounded place when it almost just happened when I start thinking about men's and their the incredible entitlement and violence that is produced as a consequence of that, in particular to women and queer community, as well as to themselves, not least of which to themselves, right? But then they, instead of getting therapy or going to the kitchen table or getting a bunch of girlfriends or doing the things that we do, they go fucking fight and kill their families and do all that shit, which is not the thing that I'm for. So really seeing somebody else who is using case studies and can articulate it with the same level of frustration that I find, I know I'll move off of it eventually, but for me right now, hearing that frustration of like, God, how did we let this happen again? Like that matters for me. And knowing that I'm not insane or tripping or being overly upset. In fact, if anything, we've been underly upset. And if we would collectively get upset and do something about it, then we'd not be here still. But yeah, it's really, really, really good. Really good. Again, her name is Melanie Hamlet. Leave Men Home Alone too. Deadbeat Dads of Christmas is the video essay I have not looked at today.
Okay.
Yeah. But it does. Okay. It builds a bit of solidarity and reminds me of some strategies to be able to apply.
I mean, for the record, I'll say there's some lovely cis men out there that are good dads and good bosses and good leaders. They're more the exception than the rule in my experience.
Yeah. I mean,
unfortunately, it's a lot of entitlement and oblivious that many of them have a hard time navigating. And I just am not around that many of them in my world, in my days. And it's just so surprising to catch them in the wild. I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot y'all are like that. It's too bad for you.
Yeah. Even when we each say that, like, that we do recognize that there are cis men who are doing the work and are, doing the things that a lot of that is also anecdotal and an assumption, and I believe it. Because I have to. There's not really another choice. It's like somebody's got to be doing something.
There's lots of people doing things. How well they're doing it, who knows? But there's lots of people trying. It's a men's group, and there's lots of dudes who are backing up women on social media. There's more who are being dickheads, but
if the men's groups are for men's healing, then I'm all for it. It's the men's groups that are about men.
Yeah, those are not the ones I'm talking about.
No. I am aware. Yeah. If you go to MMA after, that's not a good men's group.
We've all been traumatized by the patriarchy, but men and people socialize as men got to like do that work amongst themselves because we don't have any more space or time or energy for it. We're trying to heal all the trauma we've suffered at the hands of men.
Yeah, which is the other big thing, right? That epidemic of male loneliness. It's like, you know what? Learn to make friends or be lonely. I don't know, but leave us alone. Like I'm good. I'm good.
Yep.
Um,
Okay. Well, on that happy note,
hey, look it, we
happy
made it to
solstice.
time. Whoops, happy solstice. We will be back next week because that's what we do. What are some things that we want to tell people we have coming up and share with them about things they can join us to participate in
If
and
you
build some
hear
of the
this in
solidarity and
time,
community?
our colleague Jamila Thompson's offering a Interrupting Racism for the Holidays workshop this Saturday, December 20th from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time. To think about all those joyful moments in which you're trying to enjoy yourself with your family or at a work party or whatever, the holiday party at your office or whatever it might be. And somebody says some oblivious, dumb, racist shit or some actual bigoted, hateful shit.
Some
You
fuck
know, I
shit.
feel like people have better strategies for dealing with the like explicitly hateful, bigoted shit. And even that sometimes catches us off guard and kind of frozen because we don't
Yeah,
expect it, especially in that kind of setting. And so she's got some strategies and tips and tricks to share for what you might try if and when you find yourself in that situation. And then you and I are hosting our Strategy and Solidarity 2025 Community Celebration Call on December 30th. That's a Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, to make some space to highlight all of the places where we did still survive and thrive and accomplish things in our personal lives, in our workplaces, in our communities this year, so that we don't let all of the harm and evil and violence and awfulness overshadow all of the beautiful things that still deserve to be recognized and celebrated this year.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And you can join both of those if you come to strategyindsolidarity.org.
You should do that. For folks who are interested, I will be, we talked about this before, on a show at the Fuse Theater also this Friday, the 20th. That is Oops, All Autistics. That's the Fuse Theater in Southeast Portland, and it's going to be happening at 10 p.m. Myself, Brandon Creasy's on that. I don't remember who else is on it because I'm going off the top of my head. So there you go. And you can catch us on all our social medias, Strategy and Solidarity. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. I am available on name any of the social medias that we tried talking about before. You can just look up my name. Wow, like I forgot how to say my own name. Godless Kareem Wyndham. Where are your socials, Teresa?
You can find me sometimes on most of the apps at TMC Logan.
Where can they find you on Threads? Is that the same one, TMC Logan?
Yep. It's my handle most
Beautiful.
places.
Excellent. As ever, we would like to shout out to our good friend Amani for the use of Love of the Earth, the song that you will hear interstitially in the clips primarily. Still trying to figure out how to get it edited into the podcast. So if you're hearing me shout that out, go listen to it. It's a good song. God, quit being so selfish. I don't even know what that meant.
Take good care of yourselves out there.
All right. Do it. We'll talk to you later. That's enough stuff.